The beastmen from the Howling Village have just arrived, as a young man tells them to ask Lamulius if they ever need anything. He had asked them to ask Lamulius if they needed any help because she holds the position of the house manager, and she could obviously tend to their needs. Lamulius greets them as they all reply formally. However, the young man tells them that there is absolutely no reason to be formal, as they should make themselves comfortable in any possible way that they can. The young man affirms that they thought that they would be treated horribly when they arrived. However, their intention was nothing close to that, as they were free to make themselves comfortable. They obey the instructions as they no longer seem to appear as strangers on the island. However, something is noticed with the little beings, as it appears that although they are delighted and comfortable with the environment, they seem to faint often, and something needs to be done about that quickly. Later that day, the young man and everyone are in a serene garden, where there is maximum comfort and the air that blows in the garden is fresh and soothing. There are different people who do their magic. Some sets of people are seen practicing with water, while some are trying a few other techniques. The young man is rather surprised that it appears that he is probably the only one without magical power. A lady who seems like someone of his age cheers him up after seeing that he feels segregated. Although she had told him that everyone possesses a magic of their own, she is quick to tell him again that he is apparently not the only one without magic. After a while, some sets of children come to tease him as they want to hang around him. He is scared that they might display a sense of magic which can project him as useless. They are to carry out the task with the use of apples. The lady quickly tries to dismiss them after seeing the insecurities they seem to bring to the young man's mind. In the process of doing this, they are interrupted by the report that two beasts seem to be fighting on one side of the island. They had heard a noise that was enough to be mistaken for an earthquake. They never thought it could be two animals fighting. It appeared to be a grappler bear and a bloody viper. The viper must be really huge for the ground to shake that much. The fight is happening in the northern area of the forest, and they can feel the ground of their part of the forest, which is far from the northern part of the forest. The girl that had come to give the report states that the fight must be stopped immediately, as it might affect the well-being of people who reside in the forest. They immediately get ready to get rid of the havoc that seems to have struck the forest. The young man, who is usually referred to as the mayor, gets on the lady who had come to report the incident as they dive into the sky. They did not journey to the battle scene on foot because it would definitely take time to save the forest. They appear at the scene in no time, as they are both shocked to see how big the viper and the bear are. The mayor had spoken earlier about eating animals in the forest area, but they had not taken him seriously. He instructs the girl to dive into the fight scene quickly. She's reluctant at first because she's convinced that they will eventually get hurt. However, it is very important that she obeys her master as she dives into the fight scene immediately. The mayor slashes through these animals without mercy as they appear dead after the whole ordeal. She is shocked that he actually means to cook and eat them. They transport the big animal home as he uses their wine and alcohol to prepare a delicacy that seems weird to everyone at first. He cajoles every one of them to taste the animals as they really appear tasty. He had fried the viper and it tasted like chicken. They eventually try it, only to also love the taste. They had more to eat as the meal was really delicious. Later that day, the mayor visits Flora's building to get supplements to prevent the leftover meal from getting spoiled. He had gone to ask if she had a substance for preventing microorganisms from destroying the food. She tenders a food preservative to him as he inquires to know about the recipe he had told her to try out. She had a bad report as she stated that she had tried her best to make the food, and despite her hard work, all her efforts proved abortive. He had gone straight to the poultry to get eggs as he decided to prepare it right in her presence. They mixed a lot of ingredients alongside the eggs and mayonnaise. She tastes it without baking it or cooking it, as he warns her that it's dangerous to her body's system. She was delighted to see him explain to her that the meal was different and delicious. They are interrupted by the unannounced visit for a few men who are from a different country. They seem wild and their beards are very full. However, their approach seems genuine and very kind. The mayor ushers them in as they relay their reasons for the visit. They had hoped that they could get a large quantity of alcohol from them, as they had heard that their people produce alcohol. The people alongside the younger mayor, however, refuse to give their alcohol to them, as they think it's of very great value. They settled down with them and promised to make them more alcohol from their plants. They almost did not believe, as they wondered with themselves if this was truly possible. The men decided to try out the experiment as the mayor remembers trying it in his science class while he was younger. They eventually produce a substance that is licked into a cup for the people to taste. The mayor exclaims after drinking a little, as he affirms that the alcohol is rather sharp than normal. The men only laugh, affirming that he is a lightweight drinker, as they drink alcohol themselves. People are very happy that they have found someone to give them alcohol, which will keep their business and fame. They make merry as they throw a mini party. Everyone is delighted, and a large number of people become drunk due to the intense intake of sharp alcohol. The mayor is alone in the field as he hears a sound that jolts him to reality. The sound seemed to be very familiar with the one that they heard while the bear and the large viper were in combat. It is, however, different this time, as the combat seems to be happening in the sky. He looks up only to see two large dragons facing each other. The very large one joins them later as they begin to attack each other, hence wreaking great havoc in the forest. He becomes really furious as he vows never to let them off this time. They must pay for their atrocities as far as he is concerned. He begins to attack the dragon as he shoots one of the dragons, who quickly escapes the attack, after seeing how dangerous and deadly the mayor's attack can be. It appears to be more like a threat to their well-being. After the mayor has seen that the dragon had dodged the attack, he becomes more furious as he rekindles the fire of his attack. He is prepared to eliminate them this time with nobody to intervene. Just as he's about to strike them with a type of magic, a young boy who is also a dragon, but he is in human form, quickly interrupts them, as he states that those are his uncle and his family. They all return to their human forms as they try to settle their differences on land and without their dragon form, which makes the intensity of the fight quite decreased. They accuse the father of always drinking every time and also pin it on him that he is having an affair. He denies quickly, stating that he had always gone to bring them gifts to the house, clearing their insecurities. The mayor is happy that they seem to be getting along well, without any force, as the father tells them to apologize to the mayor immediately for causing him a lot of trouble. They apologize as the mayor exits their presence. The father states that he had come to observe the environment as the fight was just camouflage. They had never thought that there could be someone who was more powerful than the dragon. In order for them to feel safe and protected, the mother orders her daughter to stay in the forest and observe the people and also keep them safe. Her father had interrupted her mother while she was dishing out the instructions, but she ignored him as she had already made her mind up. They all return except their daughter. They had told the mayor to assign her to a particular job to keep her very busy as she gets really busy. However, during the course of her stay, they find out that the wolves and even the other animals have been suddenly scared of the dragon ever since she had joined them. This bothers the mayor as he tries to see if there are other sectors that she can function in which would keep her away from the animals. She had been taken to their restaurant to work as she seemed to not fit into any other sector. However, a man named Beazle, who rules a different country, has come to get foodstuff from their store, as he is shocked to find out that a dragon now works for them as their attendant. He stares at the dragon in awe and disbelief. What now? Would he get eaten? Is it even right for a dragon to be an attendant with her horns and scary tail? All these questions run through his head as he keeps affirming everything she seems to have said. He no longer has a decision of his own as he's unsure of what to say or buy. He ends up buying everything she has suggested against his own will, just because he's scared of her and wants to do everything possible to get out of her sight. He eventually meets the mayor, who asks him to count everything he has gotten, but he declines as he is close to wetting his pants. He returned to his town immediately. On getting to his town, he summons his chiefs and tells them about the new developments of the village. They now have a full military force for all they care, and an attack is going to be staged against them soon. The question of their success or failure strikes them immediately. He dismisses them after making up his mind to send a spy to their town, who will give him an appropriate report of everything that is happening in the village. Later that evening, he summons his only daughter as he states that he is sending her off as a spy to a small town. The young girl did not decline as she would go on the mission since it was her father. The very next day, she meets the Lady Dragon on arriving to the town. Her reception was very warm, as she did not know her true intention. Beazle's daughter, however, is not as timid as her father, as she kept asking questions about the environment and people that reside in the environment. Later that day, she sees the other wild beasts and the strong dwarves that are in the town. She accesses them quickly, as it comes to her knowledge. that they will hardly be able to defeat them. They seem really strong and unique. It will only take a very powerful force to wipe them out, or even create a slight threat. She goes to sit somewhere in the forest as she settles down to analyze the data she had gathered earlier. She meets with the mayor, whom she underestimates, seeing that he is an ordinary human. However, her analysis is totally wrong as she inquires about him. The dragon girl states that he had enough strength to even defeat her mother. The girl is shocked as she begins to accord him more respect. They appeared strange to the mayor because she was not like that on their first meeting. He had gathered all the information about her and was aware that she would be staying in their town for a period of time. Did you enjoy this recap? If you did, kindly like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you the recap of the next episode. Until next time, do take care and stay safe.